What if I told you that there are 10 things in your home right now that are robbing you of your peace, energy, and well-being? Can you imagine what it would be like to wake up every day in a space that truly inspires you instead of making you tired just by looking at it? Well, today, I'm going to show you exactly which 10 things you need to eliminate from your home today to completely transform your quality of life. Have you ever noticed how some homes have a pleasant energy while others feel heavy, even when they are clean? The secret is not just in cleaning, but in what you choose to keep or discard. Every object that we keep unnecessarily acts as an invisible weight, creating a mental mess that we don't even realize. For years, I've studied how our home influences our emotional state, and I discovered that there is a specific list of items that, when eliminated, cause an immediate transformation in the environment and in our sense of well-being. The stakes are high here. If you apply what I'm going to teach you today, tomorrow you'll feel lighter, more welcoming, and more inspiring in your home. But if you ignore these tips, you'll continue to carry unnecessary weight that drains your energy every day without you even realizing it. I'm going to tell you about a specific item that's present in 90% of homes, and that's a real thief of positive energy, but only at the end of the video. So stick with me until the very last second, because this revelation could completely change your perspective on organization. Tip 1. Clothes that no longer fit. You know that blouse you loved 5 years ago, but now doesn't fit right? Or those pants you've been saving up for the past year, waiting for you to lose weight? These items are real thieves of your mental energy. Every time you open your closet and see these clothes, your brain does extra work processing unnecessary information. It's like having a constant internal conversation about the past or about expectations that may never come true. The problem goes beyond the visual aspect or the physical space it takes up. These clothes carry emotional memories that may no longer be healthy for you. That shirt from your job that you hated, the dress from a difficult time in your life, or pieces that remind you of a time when you felt different about your body. Every time your eyes pass over these items, there is a small negative emotional discharge, even if you don't consciously realize it. The solution is simple, but it takes courage. Set aside an entire afternoon to go through your wardrobe piece by piece. Take each item in your hands and ask yourself 3 basic questions. Have I worn it in the last 12 months? Do I feel good when I wear it? Does this piece represent who I am today? If the answer is no to any of these questions, it's time to say goodbye. You don't have to throw it away. You can donate it to someone who will actually use it and give those clothes a new life. The benefits of this cleanse are immediate and surprising. First, you save time each morning because you will have fewer options, but they will all be good options. Second, your self-esteem improves because you will always be wearing clothes that truly suit you today, not who you were in the past. Third, your wardrobe will have a lighter and more organized energy, which will bring a sense of control and well-being that will extend to other areas of your life. It is amazing how something seemingly simple can have such a profound impact on our daily lives. Tip 2. Unnecessary papers and documents. Do you have a drawer full of old papers, bills that you've already paid, manuals for appliances that you no longer have, business cards from people you've forgotten who they are? These papers are like constant visual and mental noise. Every time you need to look for an important document, you have to go through dozens of useless papers, which causes stress and wastes time. In addition, accumulated paper attracts dust, mites, and can even develop mold in humid environments, harming the air quality in your home. The accumulation of unnecessary documents also represents a way of living in the past. We keep receipts from purchases made years ago, as if we needed to prove something that has already happened. We keep insurance papers that have expired, contracts for services we no longer use, and even notes on the phone numbers of people we have lost contact with. This clutter of documents creates a subconscious feeling that our lives are disorganized, even when other areas are in order. To solve this, spend a few hours doing a thorough sorting. Separate your documents into 3 piles: keep, scan, and discard. In the keep pile, only put documents that you really need to keep physically, such as certificates, deeds, and current contracts. In the scan pile, put important papers that can be saved in digital format, such as recently paid bills, payment receipts, and old medical prescriptions. In the discard pile, put everything that is no longer useful, always remembering to shred documents with personal information before throwing them away. The results of this organization are transformative. You gain considerable physical space, improve the air quality in the environment, and most importantly, develop a sense of control over your administrative life. When you need a specific document, you will know exactly where to find it, without stress or wasting time. Your mind is at ease knowing that your important papers are organized and protected, while what is no longer useful has been eliminated. This document organization also makes it much easier when it comes to making declarations, renewing documents, or dealing with day-to-day bureaucratic issues. Tip 3. Broken and unrepairable objects. That lamp with a bent stem, the cracked vase you've been promising to fix for months, the remote control that only works if you press it really hard. These broken objects are more damaging than we realize. They send a constant message to our subconscious that it's okay to live with things that don't work properly, creating a mindset of conformity that can spread to other areas of our lives. What's more, broken objects can be dangerous, especially if you have children or elderly people in the house. Keeping broken items is also a form of self-deception. We tell ourselves that we'll fix it, that it's just a matter of time. But deep down, we know that we probably never will. This incongruence between what we say and what we do creates a subtle but constant mental tension. It's like having a bunch of broken promises to yourself lying around the house, which can affect your self-confidence and sense of personal effectiveness. The solution requires total honesty with yourself. Take a walk through your home and identify all the items that aren't working properly. For each item, set a realistic time frame for repair, no more than 2 weeks. If you haven't fixed it by that time frame, it's probably not going to be fixed, so it's time to throw it away. For items that you do want to fix, put them in a separate box and schedule a day in your calendar to take them in for repair or to do it yourself. The benefits of getting rid of broken items go far beyond aesthetics. Your home becomes safer, especially if you've removed items with sharp, loose, or unstable parts. You develop a more proactive mindset, preferring to have fewer things that all work well, rather than many things that are half-finished. This has a positive effect on the way you deal with other aspects of your life, creating a mental pattern of seeking solutions rather than living with problems. Your self-esteem also improves because you start to see yourself as someone who takes good care of your things and makes practical, intelligent decisions. Hey, if you're enjoying these tips and want to completely transform your home, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any new content. And tell me in the comments where you're watching this video from. I love knowing that we're connected around the world through these organization tips. Tip 4. Meaningless decorations. You know those ornaments we get as gifts and put on the shelf just so we don't throw them away in front of the person who gave them to us? Or those decorations we buy on impulse and now don't even remember why we think they're pretty? These decorative objects with no emotional connection act as visual noise, creating aesthetic pollution that tires our eyes and mind. Each surface full of random objects requires our brain to process more visual information, which can cause mental fatigue without us realizing it. Meaningless decorations also make cleaning much more laborious and time-consuming. Every extra item on the shelf, table, or sideboard is one more thing to remove, clean underneath, clean the item itself, and put back. This turns simple cleaning tasks into long, tiring processes, leaving you either avoiding cleaning as often or feeling overwhelmed every time you do need to clean. The result is a home that always seems to need organizing, even when you're done cleaning. To resolve this situation, do an exercise of emotional connection with each decorative piece in your home. Take each object in your hands and ask yourself, does this item bring me joy when I look at it? Does it have a special story or important meaning to me? Does it represent me or something I value? If the answer is no, mentally thank it for having served its purpose and get rid of it. You can donate it, give it as a gift to someone you like, or even sell it if it has commercial value. The benefits of this decorative simplification are impressive. First, your home will have a clearer and more harmonious visual identity, truly reflecting your personality instead of being a random mix of objects. Second, cleaning will be much faster and easier, encouraging you to always keep your home organized. Third, you will develop a more discerning eye for future decorative purchases, investing only in pieces that truly add aesthetic and emotional value to your space. The result is a more serene, personalized, and easy to maintain space where each object has a purpose and a reason for being there. Tip 5. Pots and containers without lids. Do you have a collection of glass, plastic, or metal jars that have lost their lids over time? These incomplete containers are real space hogs that promise utility but rarely deliver. Without lids, they cannot fulfill their primary function of storing and preserving food or other items. They end up becoming nothing more than objects that take up valuable space in your cabinets, creating a feeling of disorganization every time you open the door and see that mess of loose containers. The problem with open jars goes beyond practicality. They represent a mindset of keeping things incomplete in the hope that one day we will find the missing part. It's like keeping relationships, projects, or situations in our lives half-finished. Subconsciously, these incomplete objects remind us of unfinished things, creating subtle mental tension. In addition, open jars accumulate dust, can develop odors, and are difficult to clean properly. The solution is straightforward and liberating. Go through your cupboards and drawers where you store containers and do a thorough sorting. Separate all the jars that have their respective lids on one side and all the orphans on the other side. For the orphans, give them one last try by trying to find lids that fit, even if they are from other jars. If you don't find a perfect match after 15 minutes of searching, it's time to say goodbye. You can use some as plant pots, pencil holders, or small items, but only if you really want to use them, not to create another category of objects without a specific function. The results of this cleaning are immediate and very satisfying. Your cupboards are organized and functional with only containers that are actually used to store things properly. You save time when looking for a container to store leftovers or organize small objects because all the ones there work perfectly. Your psychological sensation also improves a lot because you eliminate that constant frustration of picking up a container thinking you'll be able to use it and discovering that it doesn't have a lid. Your kitchen becomes more efficient and you develop the healthy habit of keeping only complete and functional items, which naturally extends to other areas of the house. Tip 6. Expired medicines and old beauty products. In your bathroom cabinet or kitchen drawer, you probably have expired medications, creams you started using and didn't like, dry makeup, and shampoos that left your hair looking weird. These products are not only useless, they can be harmful to your health. Expired medications can lose their effectiveness or develop toxic compounds. Old cosmetics are a breeding ground for bacteria and fungi, which can cause irritation, allergies, or skin infections. Keeping expired products or products that you know you won't use also creates significant visual and mental clutter. Every time you need to find something specific, you have to sift through dozens of useless products, wasting time and getting frustrated. In addition, these items take up valuable space that could be used to properly organize the products you actually use and need. It's like having a disorganized pharmacy and perfumery in your home, where finding what you need becomes a complicated task. To safely clean up, start by separating all your products by category: medicines, cosmetics, hygiene products, and personal care products. Check the expiration dates on each item and immediately discard anything that has expired. For medicines, find out if there is a specific collection point in your city, as they should not be thrown in the regular trash. For cosmetics and beauty products that are still within their expiration date but you don't use them, be honest about the real likelihood of using them in the future. If you haven't used them in the last 6 months, you probably won't use them anyway. The benefits of this organization go far beyond the issue of space. You significantly increase the safety of your family, eliminating the risk of poisoning or allergic reactions. Your spaces become cleaner and more organized, making your daily personal care routine easier. You also save money because you gain real control over what you have at home, avoiding buying duplicate products. You develop a greater awareness of expiration dates and learn to use products within the appropriate period. The psychological feeling of having only fresh, safe products that you actually use brings much greater peace of mind and confidence in your self-care routine. Tip 7. Books you'll never read. That pile of books you bought with the best of intentions but have been sitting untouched for years. Or technical course books you've already finished, novels you started but never finished, or copies you were given but never got around to. These unread books serve as constant reminders of unfulfilled good intentions, creating a subtle sense of guilt every time you look at them. It's like having a permanent mental list of pending tasks that never get done. Books piled up without purpose also create a visual and energetic burden on the environment. Shelves filled with books that do not represent your current interests make your home look like a disorganized library rather than a space that reflects your personality. In addition, books accumulate a lot of dust, can develop dust mites, and if left in damp places, can even create mold, which harms the air quality in the environment and can cause respiratory problems. To make this selection wisely, divide your books into categories: those you love and might want to reread, those that serve as references for future reference, those that you really intend to read in the next 6 months, and those that are just sitting there out of inertia. Be brutally honest in this division. That French cookbook you've never opened, that programming manual for a language you no longer use, the novel that everyone recommended but that doesn't spark your interest. It's time to accept that it's okay not to want to read everything and that other people can benefit much more from these books. The results of this curation are transformative. Your home will have a lighter energy, and your bookshelves will truly reflect who you are and your genuine interests. You will significantly reduce the amount of dust in your home and make regular cleaning much easier. In addition, you will develop a healthier relationship with reading, focusing on books that truly add value to your life rather than keeping a library for status or guilt. The books you donate can make a difference in the lives of others, and you will have the satisfaction of knowing that you are circulating knowledge rather than letting it sit and gather dust. Your mind will also be at ease without the constant pressure of books waiting to be read. Tip 8. Old electronics and lost cables. Do you have a drawer full of cables that you no longer know what they're for? Old cell phones that are just taking up space? Chargers for devices that you no longer have? These obsolete electronics are real space and mental energy thieves. Every time you need to find a specific cable, you have to search through dozens of tangled wires, wasting time and getting frustrated. Plus, old electronics can leak dangerous chemicals if they are stored for too long. Holding on to obsolete technology is also a way of living in the technological past. That 5-year-old cell phone, the MP3 player that stopped working, the radio that only picks up one station are reminders of previous versions of our digital life. These objects take up mental space because we always feel like they might be useful someday. But in practice, technology advances so quickly that we rarely go back to using very old equipment. To organize this area, do a thorough audit of all your electronics and accessories. Test each device to see if it still works properly. For cables, identify what each one is for and whether you still have the corresponding device. Cables from devices you no longer own can go right away. Devices that work but haven't been used in over a year are also candidates for disposal. Remember that electronics should not be thrown in the regular trash. Look for appropriate collection points in your city. The benefits of this electronic cleaning are enormous. You gain considerable space in drawers and shelves, making it much easier to organize the electronics you actually use. You eliminate the frustration of looking for cables and finding only useless wires. You reduce environmental and health risks since old equipment can contain toxic substances. In addition, you can focus more on current and functional technology, improving your productivity and use of the devices that are actually part of your routine. The feeling of having only current and functional electronics brings a great mental lightness and makes it much easier to maintain home organization. Before I move on to the next tip, I want to tell you about something special I prepared for those who want to go beyond this video. It's a complete guide with organization secrets that completely transformed my home and can transform yours too. The link is in the pinned comment, and for a limited time, I'm offering a special discount for channel subscribers. Now let's continue with the next tips, which are some of my favorites. Tip 9. Duplicate kitchen utensils. How many spatulas do you have in your kitchen? And can openers? Probably more than you need. Duplicate utensils are one of the biggest clutter makers in kitchens, taking up precious drawer space and making it very difficult to organize. When you have 3 or 4 of the same items, they get mixed up, piled up in a disorganized manner, and make it difficult to find exactly what you need when cooking. Plus, extra utensils are rarely used, just taking up space and collecting grease and dust. Having too many identical utensils also makes washing dishes more complicated and time-consuming. Instead of washing just the ones you used, you end up washing everything dirty in the drawer, including utensils that you didn't even use but got stuck to. This creates an unnecessary extra cycle of work that makes household chores more difficult than they need to be. A kitchen with duplicate utensils never really looks tidy, even after a thorough cleaning. To solve this problem, completely empty all of your utensil drawers and separate them by category. All openers together, all spatulas together, all wooden spoons together, and so on. For each category, choose only the best items, considering their quality, appropriate size, and frequency of use. Usually, 1 or 2 items of each type are enough for any home kitchen. Extras can be donated or stored only if you have a lot of guests and need to cook for large groups regularly. The results of this simplification are impressive. Your drawers become organized and functional, with each utensil having its specific place and being easy to find. Meal preparation becomes faster and more enjoyable because you don't have to rummage through dozens of utensils to find what you need. Cleaning the kitchen also becomes much faster and easier since there are fewer items to wash and organize. You develop a more conscious relationship with your kitchen utensils, valuing quality over quantity, and your kitchen acquires a more professional and organized look that inspires you to cook more and better. Tip 10. Keepsakes and souvenirs without emotional connection. We've reached the 10th and final tip, which is perhaps the most transformative of all. Do you have drawers or boxes full of souvenirs from trips that you don't even remember where they came from? Souvenirs from events you attended years ago? Objects that you received at parties or celebrations and that have no special meaning for you? These items are the true energy thieves that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. They take up physical and mental space, creating a subtle emotional clutter that affects your daily well-being. Memories without real emotional connection act as noise in our personal history. Instead of preserving truly important moments, we end up storing evidence of experiences that are no longer part of who we are today. It's like keeping a personal museum full of random artifacts instead of a carefully curated collection of memories that really matter. These objects dilute the power of truly special memories and make it difficult to find and cherish the items that have real meaning. To do this emotional curation, set aside a special quiet time to review all of your stored memories. Hold each item in your hands and let the associated memories come naturally. If you can clearly remember the story behind the object, the person who gave it to you, or the moment it represents, and if the memory still brings back positive feelings, then it's worth keeping. But if you have to make an effort to remember where it came from, or if the memory no longer stirs any special emotions, it's time to thank it for fulfilling its purpose and say goodbye. The benefits of this emotional cleansing are profound and long-lasting, You create a sacred space for the memories that truly matter, giving them the prominence and care they deserve. Your home takes on a more authentic and personalized energy, truly reflecting your history and values. You develop a more conscious relationship with sentimental objects, being more selective about what you choose to preserve in the future. In addition, you free up considerable physical and mental space, creating an environment for new experiences and memories. The feeling of being surrounded only by memories that genuinely bring you joy and meaning is transformative, creating an atmosphere of gratitude and contentment that spreads throughout your life. Now you know the 10 things you need to eliminate from your home today to achieve greater peace, lightness, and well-being. Each item we discuss represents not just a physical object, but an opportunity to transform the energy of your home and, consequently, your life. Remember that an organized home is not about perfection, but about intentionality. When you consciously choose what to keep and what to discard, you are taking control of your environment and creating a space that truly serves and inspires you. Transformation doesn't happen overnight, but every step you take in this direction will yield immediate results. Start today with one of these 10 categories, choosing the one that makes the most sense for your current situation. You might be surprised at how much better you feel after eliminating just one of these categories of unnecessary items. The energy in your home will change, your productivity will increase, and you'll find that staying organized becomes much easier when there's less to organize. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 10 things will you eliminate from your home first? Which one caught your attention the most and made you think about the objects you keep? Tell me in the comments, because I love to hear how these tips are making a difference in your life. And if this video helped you see your home in a different light, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any tips on organization and well-being. Until the next video, and remember, your home is a reflection of your mind, so take good care of it.